So the fourth film I watched today was a film from Tunisia, and it was actually Tunisian's entry for the Best Foreign Language Film for the 89th Academy Awards. However, it did not make the shortlist, nor was it nominated. And it is written and directed by Leyla Bouzid, and it's set in 2010 Tunisia, just before the Arab Spring and the revolution in Tunisia that took place, that sort of started the Arab Spring. Um, I did not know much about the Arab Spring, even though clearly I lived through it. It was 2010 through 2012. That was a very strange time in my life, and I didn't really read a lot about the world at that time. So I feel a bit like an idiot having not known anything really about that whole time period. I'm sure I must have seen a lot on the news and just it went. People can be really self-centered sometimes. So there you go. That's why films are important, because then you're like, oh shit, why wasn't I paying attention to this? And then you're like, now I should pay attention. This I thought was a great film. It stars Baya Medhaffer, and she has not done anything else before or after this film. She plays an 18-year-old student named Farah who has just finished her A-level exams, and her mother, played by Galia Benali, wants her to go to med school, but Farah is the lead singer of a rock band that sings very critical songs of the government. And so they are, unbeknownst to them, being followed by the government secret police. When her mother is told of this, she tries to keep Farah away from the band and keep her safe, but without actually straight up saying, hey, by the way, you're being followed by the police. So obviously she rebels. She's 18. She keeps singing these very critical songs, and the next thing you know, she has disappeared. And I'll let you kind of guess how it goes from there, because you might be wrong, and you should definitely watch it. But about the first 2/3 of the film are about Farah and her relationship with the band, as well as her relationship with her mother, the ways in which she is trying to push back in a society that is trying to tell her to behave in one way. And part of what I thought was wonderful is later you sort of have this great heart-to-heart with Farah and her mother, about how her mother was very similar when they were younger, and how time and realities of their political economy of this country can change the way in which you react to situations, and can sort of temper your passion. And it's really a heartbreaking film, filled with lovely, lovely live performances in the earlier part of the film. It's mostly in Arabic with a little bit of Tunisian. No, mostly in Arabic with little Tunisian Arabic with a little bit of French, because post-colonialism, colonialism. It was edited by a woman, as well as being co-written by another woman. So there were a lot of women that worked on this film. It premiered at the Venice Film Festival in 2015. It's quite a good film. I wish I had been able to see it during A Year with Women, but I guess it came out elsewhere in 2016, so I wouldn't have been able to do that. What else about it? Just kind of, I saw an interesting comment where someone was saying that it reminded them of the sort of teen rebellion films in France during 1968. However, the sort of repercussions and reality of the revolution that was brewing in Tunisia is far cry from the sort of anti-bourgeois but relatively safe revolution of the students in 1968. And I was like, I like that commentary. Way back in college, I used to read a lot of books on colonial North Africa. That was part of one of my sort of study specialties, because I did French and Arabic, but it's been sort of a while, and I think my sort of knowledge of where feminist studies in particular are in North Africa is very different from where it was in 2007 when I was studying it. So I should, like, I don't know, catch up. You ever watch a movie and you're just like, holy shit, I am not paying attention to the world? Because a lot of the movies I see are like bullshit or they're from, forever ago. And it's like, eh. And then I watch something like this and I'm like, man, I am so caught up in my own bullshit way too much. And there's so many important things happening that I don't know anything about. And I should be better. I have the internet. The internet lets me learn about anything and read about anything. And yet somehow, I don't know. Uh, So like as bad as it is here in America, specifically for myself, I have it relatively good compared to like what was happening there and what's happening to several um, sort of sections of America that I'm not a part of. So this is definitely one of those films that makes you sort of realize that a lot of times your own bullshit is nothing compared to what other people go through, and it's important to know and remember that there is just so much more out there. Oh, I mean, I'm still really tired from my work trip. I'm like dying here. I'm sorry, this is like the least energy review of all time. This movie is far more energetic than this review. It is a very passionate, beautiful, wonderful film commenting on what led to the Arab Spring, what it's like in Tunisia to be a feminist woman, what it's like to be a young woman, what it's like to be an old woman, what it's like to know that you're in the right, but be um, almost powerless in your ability to change your situation, because those who are in power can literally lock you in prison and abuse you. So, and what strength it is to sort of overcome that and then try to tell a story. Um, let's see, Leyla Bouzid is, wow, she's born in 1984, so she's quite young when she made this movie. Um, let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Did several short films. Wow, she's a lot of short films. I need to find those. Um, I love watching short films, and most of them aren't available anywhere. It's a bummer. Anyways, this was As I Open My Eyes, or À peine j'ouvre les yeux, from 2015. It is French Tunisian, written and directed by Leyla Bouzid. It is on Filmstruck for another week, I believe. It expires on the 26th or 27th. It's from Kino Lover, so it's probably on DVD from them as well. I definitely recommend checking it out.